to It's All Black and White TV. Sorry about it being a bit late this afternoon. I had to restart my router, unfortunately, so if I didn't have one again online, so I had to do a reboot. So I had to wait for that to load back up, which takes forever, to be fair. Right, if you do like what you see, please do smash the like. It does help the channel and helps new viewers find it easy, so do give it a like. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, come be part of this great community we have here. And also hit that bell notification. It tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or in upcoming shows as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in the chat by clicking the dollar sign as well. So, yesterday we drew 2-2 with Bournemouth. But we will get into that. But first of all, before we get into that, let's grab some comments. I know they come flying in. Obviously, it's not our best performance yesterday, but I'll take a draw. At least we didn't lose, but shouldn't have the win. Should have got the win. Yeah, we should have got the win, absolutely. Hi, Tony. Hi, Jules. Hope you're well. Afternoon, or good afternoon to you, Mason. Hope you're well too. Gary says, good afternoon. Simply not good enough. Last 2 games at home and 2 draws. Yeah, I know where you're coming from, Gary. We'll get into this, mate. And how it doesn't win, and it's when times are tough, you see how good another manager is, in my opinion. I see where you're coming from on that, draws. 4-4 draw and a 2-2 draw are not good enough. Gary D, and he also says somebody there says 130 starting now 137. Yeah, like I say, I'm sorry. Mike is awful. Star Wars was Phil, Tony. Still makes more sense than Jonathan Clare. Can't nobody hear? Is the sound bad? Is it? Is the sound not good? If you let me know in the comments, because I'm not sure what's happening here. Okay, just give me 1 minute. And I'll sort this out now. Just 1 moment, guys. Sorry, I'm muted. I was muted there, right? Can everybody hear me fine now? That's better, isn't it? Yeah, because I had to have a USB thing on, multi-plug thing on it, and it's decided not to work properly, so I've had to take that out now. Right, so we're all back. We're all back now. Okay. Ronald says I sound like Metal Mickey. Oh God, I remember Metal Mickey. Mike is terrible. It should be fine now, the Mike. It should be fine. You should be able to hear everything now. It's not, says Gary. Sounds like when Princess Leia disguised from trying to trade Jabba the Hutt. That's better. Cheers. Thank you very much. Absolutely fantastic now. We're all back. Jack says hi. Tony, hi, Jack. Hope you're well. Fine now. Yeah. That's a lot better. Tony, mate. Cheers, Gary. Yeah. That's the this little device I've got. Yeah. It's because I was updating something as well, and it was plugged in on USB. So yeah, I've only got 2 USB ports, so I put this multi-plug thing in, and obviously it's not working properly. So okay, right. So yesterday, as I say, we played Bournemouth. We got a 2-2 draw with that game. We will look into the nitty-gritty of the game. Because yesterday we were all expecting maybe 3 points. It's a game we looked at and said we need the 3 points. Something we had to get. But obviously Bournemouth had other ideas. But as I say, we will get into it. And I am going to stick a poll in the chat. Now, just an update on a game that I've just got on the TV. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 2. at the moment. And the referee's back at the monitor checking for another penalty for Rangers because it looks like it's a handball. But to me, it looks like it's come off the guy's back, to be fair, but it must have come off his hand. So he's having a check on the VR system. Right. So if he gives that penalty, that's another penalty for James Tavernier to put in. Here he comes. And it's a penalty. So he gave the penalty to Rangers. So it looks like I know Ian Fleming won't be happy because it's Rangers, isn't it? Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As I say, I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Sorry, I got distracted by that penalty thing there. I'll put a poll in the chat. Now, I'm not suggesting for any minute that I want Eddie Howe out or anything like that. It's only a simple poll we're putting in. Is Eddie Howe under pressure? And that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking him to be sacked, anything like that. All I'm saying is, is he under pressure? And it's just a simple question. So I'll put that in the chat now. And then get your views on this as well. Okay. So the poll's gone in the chat now. Should be there. And we'll have a look at the results towards the end of the show. Right, okay, let's get into the game anyway. So, yesterday, the team news came out, and we knew there was going to be one change in that team, and that was no Callum Wilson, because he picked up yet another injury. Rangers are 3-0 up, by the way. James Tavernier with his 19th goal of the season. So Callum Wilson out, no Isak. So when Hugh Gordon was up front, Barnes came in. Almiron was still in the team, which I wasn't happy about. I'd rather have Almiron been dropped, to be honest. I wanted Murphy in there. But again, that's the way Eddie's gone with. So we had to accept that. And then we saw the Bournemouth team as well, and that was their side, with obviously Solanke in there, Lloyd Kelly in there, two players we've been linked with. So we saw that team, and when we looked at our team, we thought, yeah, okay, we've got enough in that team to go out there and do the job and beat Bournemouth and pick up the 3 points, because, look, 3 points was paramount yesterday to pick up if we want to keep in them European places. Look, first half wasn't great, let's be honest. Almiron did have a shot which went way over the bar. Solanke had a couple of chances which, if he'd put them away, Bournemouth would have been 2 up on us. Dubravka made 2 good saves out of that. So, thanks to Dubravka, he kept us in that first half. It was an awful first half, if I'm honest. And we, basically we get to half time and it's like, it's 0-0. So I'm thinking, right, okay, then it's half time now. Eddie Howe will sort this out at half time and, put right what's gone wrong in that first half and make sure in the second half we come out stronger, we come out better, we take the game to Bournemouth and we go on and get these 3 points, because, look, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but we should be beating teams like Bournemouth, Luton Town, etc. But as I've said, they are playing some good football under Areola. We didn't want to see Burn getting particularly put up against the pace of Semenyo, because we know he's a quick player as well. And this is what's happening every time. Teams are putting out the fastest players to play up along Burn, beside Burn, because they know he's an easy target. And this is what I keep saying. Everybody else is seeing this, but there's one man who's not seeing it, and that's Eddie Howe. So we're just wondering why he's not seeing it. So second half starts. Not what we wanted. 6 minutes into the second half, pass back to Dubravka. He loses his footing with his right foot. He slips, which I can't really take it away from Dubravka. It's not his fault as such. The surface was slippy because it was raining as well. But unfortunately, it was that slip that allowed Solanke the easiest of goals. He couldn't miss, really. If he did miss, he'd have to go to the nearest Specsavers in Newcastle. But no, he couldn't miss. And Solanke put Bournemouth 1-0 up, and you're thinking, here we go. And then a few minutes later, Trippier puts a ball in. Offside flag goes up. And then there's a VAR check. And they're checking for a potential foul. And it's the shirt pulled back on Fabian Schär from Adam Smith. So you're sort of thinking, right, okay, that's a penalty. He's got a hold of Fabian's shirt and he's tugging him well back. So you're wondering why the VAR check's going on, but you can see why it's going on. They just want to make sure. Then they were checking for the offside, and that's when I was thinking, right now, this is going to come up. They're going to mysteriously draw the lines, and it's going to show that he's offside, and they're going to say, no penalty. But when you do look at the pictures, Schär is offside. So VAR continues on. Then they send Michael Salisbury to the monitor. As soon as send him to the monitor, I'm thinking, okay, they've seen something here, and this has got to be a penalty, because he's going to look at this and say penalty. It's very rare a referee goes to the monitor and sticks to his original decision. So he went to the monitor, checked the monitor. He was there quite a while, and then he came back and he said penalty. So we were like, great, that's it, penalty now. But he was going to take it, of course, at the time, because we were like, well, we haven't got a penalty take, have we? We didn't want Bruno taking it, because remember Bruno against Palace last year. But Anthony Gordon had the ball, and I thought, right, okay, please score. We need this. And the reason they gave that penalty was, even though Shaw was in an offside position, he didn't interfere with play because the ball didn't even go anywhere near him, so he didn't touch the ball. If he touched the ball, then that penalty wouldn't have been given. So Gordon steps up. Neto dives the right way, sneaks in past Neto. Great penalty from Gordon, right in the corner. And it's 1-1, and we're thinking, right, now come on, let's now take this game to Bournemouth. Now let's get on with this and let's go and get these 3 points, But again, we had other ideas. 11 minutes later, Dan Burn got outdone again, and Semenyo shot. He rivaled a cross goal into the back of the net, and he put Bournemouth 2-1 up. You could say Dubravka possibly could have done better with that shot, because he could have narrowed the angle a bit. But what he did do, he stayed where he was on his lane. It was like he was frightened after last week when he came well off his lane and got beat. He didn't want to do it this time, and he decided to stay on his lane. And basically, he's give Semenyo the freedom of where he wants to put it, So you could say Byrne was at fault there, but you could also say Dubravka was at fault, because he should have narrowed the angle down as well. But he didn't, and Semenyo rifled it in. And the celebration from Semenyo wasn't too bad either, but that put Bournemouth 2-1 up. Then after that, we started playing. We started playing some decent stuff, and we started hitting Bournemouth. But we just could not find the back of the net. I felt Miggy wasted a chance as well, because he took the shot on himself when all he had to do was roll it in the path of, I think it was Anthony Gordon. And Gordon had the easy shot into it probably would have gone in the back of the net. But again, Miggy decided to have a go with his left foot, and it went way over the bar again. And I'm just like, for God's sake, get Miggy off, please. Get him off, But not long after that goal went in for Bournemouth, we did take Byrne off, and brought on Livramento. And I thought, well, again, the change has come too late, because that's a reactive change, not a proactive change. So, again, Eddie reacted after the goal's gone in, instead of reacting before. When he's seen Byrne getting done for pace, this is where he should be thinking, I think either I'll play a back five and push Byrne into centre half and bring Livramento on at left back, or I swap them over, take them off. But, again, the subs are too late yet again. And And then last minute of the game, 91 minutes, we saw there was 10 minutes of stoppage time. 91 minutes on the clock. He takes off Almiron. He takes off Miley. On comes Joe White. On comes Matt Ritchie. And you're thinking, Matt Ritchie's coming on. Here we go. You know? And to be fair, I thought Matt Ritchie played all right when he came on. I was a bit annoyed that Harvey Barnes went off before Almiron, if I'm honest. I didn't think Barnes was too bad. But on terms of Almiron, he had a shocker again. He had an absolute shocker. And I think in that 9 minutes that, in the first 5 minutes, say that Matt Ritchie was on, he'd done more in that first 5 minutes than Miggy done all game. And that's saying something. And that's a 34-year-old who's not really got the legs now for the Premier League, but he's come on and done more in 5 minutes than the right winger who's just gone off and had 91 minutes on the pitch. That's not acceptable. But anyway, the ball comes in, bit of a scramble, and who's there? Matt Ritchie into the back of the net. QE celebration. Kicks the corner flag out. Didn't get booked for it. I'm surprised because I thought, this referee will probably book him for that. But yeah, gets us back on level terms. We were pushing for a winner. They pushed for a winner. Solanke had a run. It ended 2-2. And to be fair, Bournemouth are probably paid off that they didn't win the game because they probably deserved to win it more than we did. I think a draw, if you look at it now, because it was an absolute awful game, I think we got away with that and getting a draw. That was a good point. But in terms of, the match, the situation we're in, we should have been going for the jugular. We should have had the win, in all honesty. But not everybody was at the races yesterday. I'm going to just go into some comments. Jack says, happened to the best of us, Tony. I remember doing about 2 intros back to back for getting unmuted. It does happen, doesn't it, mate? We got there eventually. Ronald says, Wilson's playing in the final of the Welsh Open. Gary Wilson's playing the final of the Welsh Open. Pitty Elliott's Leicester got beat in the deciding famous. It would have been a Geordie final. Wow, that would have been excellent. Ricardo Vass, hi mate. He says, sorry Tony, I'm fuming. Howe never pulls off Burn. All last reckless Howe's worried he's too big and the fans didn't want to see a local lad pulled off in public. Get a grip, Eddie, and get him tucked. Yeah, I see exactly what you mean by that. 2 points from Luton Forest and Bournemouth at home. Simply not good enough. Absolutely beer. Jack said, don't think Howe's under pressure in my opinion unless he keeps picking Burn over and over again. It has to stop eventually. This is the thing though, Jack. It's how much are the owners going to put up with it more, especially PIF, Look, Brighton plays Sheffield United today. Now, this is where this is going to get worrying now. They play Sheffield United. Brighton should beat Sheffield United. Okay? That then puts them in to 7th spot ahead of us by 1 point. We have Arsenal next Saturday. But before we play Arsenal, Chelsea play Tottenham Hotspur at Stamford Bridge on Friday. So if Chelsea win that game, we then drop down to 9th place. Then Brighton on Saturday play Everton at home. If Brighton win that game, they're 4 points ahead of us in 7th place. And remember, we are sitting, what would be sitting 9th place? That's regarding if Chelsea win. Wolves play on the Sunday against Sheffield United. Now, if we don't beat Arsenal, we don't get a win there. We don't even come with any points. We could end up as low as 11th by Sunday afternoon. That's a frightening thought, considering where we are and where we should be. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. And I think if that's the case, Eddie will start to feel the pressure. And it depends. And look, the way Arsenal are playing at the moment, they they will have a field day. So he has to stop Burn playing next week. Troll says House should be under pressure. He waits until we let in 2 goals before changing things and kept Miggy on way too long. I think he kept Miggy on too long. Eddie should stop picking his favourites when they play bad. Absolutely. Alan says, good deal. Well, Tony, not good yesterday. We have to beat these teams. 4 points dropped, Luton and Bournemouth. Absolutely, Alan. I mean, it's not on, is it really? You know, and it's no disrespect to these teams, but we should not be getting beat. Or drawn with these teams, I should say. But, it's just, we should be winning these games. Gary D says Eddie's simply not learning from his constant mistakes, still leaving it to the 60th minute mark before he makes a change, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to change things in a game. And we know he's stubborn. I had a Bournemouth fan on the other night, and we were talking backstage, and he said, Eddie Howe's a great manager, but he can be stubborn. He doesn't want to change things, and he says like at Bournemouth they had a player called Lise Mousset, if you remember him, and he said he was terrible, but Eddie would keep picking him every single game. He says, and eventually it cost Eddie. Troll says, Burn and Miggy will play against Arsenal and we will lose big, in my opinion. Again, Trolls, I see what you're saying on that one. It's a worry when we're playing Arsenal, who are free scoring at the moment as well and scoring for fun. 11 goals in 2 games, and then we come to town and, we're not playing the best at the moment. Grandad Jedi, mate, he says, Big Joe has been a huge miss to the team. If we have any ambition, we need to pay what it is worth or lose him. This would make no sense as his replacement would want the same. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we need to tie Joe Linton down to a big deal and look, give him what he's worth. Give him what he's worth because, look, come on. We've got Matt Target sitting there on 100 grand a week, and yet Joe Linton can't get an increase or an increase that he wants, that he should be on. He should be on more money than what Matt Target's on. And no disrespect to Matt Target, but he's not playing and he's injured, isn't he, at the minute? So, I know he's on his way back. But he's the type of player that needs to be sold on in the summer as well, Matt Target, in my opinion. Troll says, if we miss the change formation to suit what we got, yeah. Livermento should start for me, keep Burn as a sub. I would make that change, Alan, absolutely. But you know what? Burn will play next week. I'm telling you now, Burn will be starting against Arsenal. Mark my words. Dubravka made a couple of good saves, says Ronald, but that slip, and I personally thought he was slow on their second as he was nowhere near it. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, he did make some good saves in the first half, but as I say, that slip was terrible. It made it look worse. Troll says, Dubs has let in so many goals, it's scary. Nacho says, you need to sack Eddie Howe and get Mourinho to take Newcastle for a trophy. I'm not sure Mourinho's the answer, if I'm honest. He's had his time, I think, and I don't think he's ready. Don't think he'd come back to Premier League, and for me, I don't think Mourinho's the answer. In 17 games, Dubs has let in 30 goals. That's insane. The problem is, Trolls, the defence do not trust Dubravka, and that is the thing. You can see it. Botman looked terrible yesterday. Had a terrible game. But then that's probably down to the fact, he's got Dubravka behind him, and he doesn't trust Dubravka, and that's the problem. This is where we're seeing the problems now. And when Pope's back, we'll see a different back four. Because it's like a back five, not a back four when we've got Pope. Antagonising Jody, I made up you. Well, he says he saves so many. Also, what is even more scary? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the thing is, we could have quite easily been 2 down. Dominic Solanke's chances, he probably, in all honesty, he probably would have put them away on another day. I saw Bournemouth like after match thing, and the guy was saying, if he'd put them 2 chances away yesterday, he would have had a hat trick. And the saying Solanke's actually only three goals behind Holland, his top scorer. That's scary, isn't it? Mighty Mag says, afternoon all, trolls, matey and Tony. Good afternoon to you, Mighty Mag. Hope you're well. Ronald says, I remember when Waddle used to say, Pelanti. Yeah, exactly. That VAR check was horrendous, especially when you're in the ground, not knowing what's going on. That's the thing, Jack. Yeah, I see what you mean. But do you know what it is, though, Jack? And this is what I said last night on the American Magpie on Chris's channel last night. I said, look, I haven't got a problem with how long VAR take. If VAR take 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 10 minutes to do a decision, I don't care as long as they get to the correct decision. I would rather they took that time to get to the right decision than hurry it, than rush it and get the wrong decision totally. So I think you've got to applaud for what they did. Obviously, the referee wanted to see obviously different angles of it, and possibly he learned from the last time he was at St James's Park when we should have scored against Palace, and he ruled it out when he didn't get the angles. Nacho says Eddie Howe is level is mid-table and his favourite players are Dan Burn. You've got Garnacho. Yeah, I think he's a Manchester United fan, Mason. Can't blame all on the keeper when our defence has been shocking. No, I'm not at all. Not at all. I'm not just blaming it on the keeper. Look, we know the defence has been awful. I've said for the first goal, I thought was a bit unfortunate that Dubravka slipped. The surface was slippy. I just thought for the second one, yes, okay, it was, down to like Burn as well. But then I thought Dubravka could have just narrowed that angle a little bit and just not gave him as much of a show the goal as he did. But I just think Dubravka's just thought of like last week, he's been a bit nervous after he came off his lane. Garnacho saying you want Garnacho. Grandad Shed says Addy was sacked by Bournemouth because of his loyalty to his players, and most successful managers are ruthless. Exactly. That's exactly that. And I've heard that from Bournemouth fans. I think it was when I put a Twitter post on. I think it was after we got beat off them down there 2-0. And Bournemouth fans said this is why he lost his job at Bournemouth, because he was playing his favourites. So again, it's 30 goals and 17 isn't only on the defence. No, it's the midfield as well, trolls. The midfield's leaving that huge gap, that huge space, and teams are just exploiting it. But the way Arsenal are scoring for fun at the minute, if we don't tighten up next week, I dread to think what the scoreline would be. Alan says, what a player Miley is going to be when he fills out. So good. Defo superstar in my opinion. Absolutely, Alan. He had a great game yesterday, and we're gonna do player ratings a bit later on. But yeah, I thought he was outstanding yesterday. Nacho says, Jose and Mourinho with that squad, you'd win at least Carabao or FA Cup. Yeah, as I say, I think Jose Mourinho has finished as a manager in the Premier League. Antagonizing says, I look at the stats, not the goals, not the stats. I mean, look, we had plenty of the possession yesterday, but as I say, we just didn't convert with chances. If Miggy looked up and saw Gordon, he could have passed it to him, but instead took it on himself. I'm going to talk about Miggy in a moment anyway. Howe's taking us as far as he can, says Trolls. Last season we were lucky because Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs were crap. That's why we got 4th. If those two was informed, we would have got 6th or 7th, to be fair. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Trolls, on that one. And that's your opinion at the end of the day, mate. Absolutely. I mean, look, I would love nothing more than Eddie Howe to succeed and bring trophies to this club. But he needs to start having balls of steel. That's what he needs now. Eddie's putting himself under pressure, says Mighty Mag. Back Eddie, mate, says Niall. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Hope you're well. Miggy should have been sold in January. Well, he didn't want to leave, did he, Trolls? He refused to leave, so that's why. We need reinforcement on Miggy. Shit, says Mason. Absolutely. I hope you stick by Eddie Howe. Talk to Niall. I'm done batting a manager who can't be productive rather than be reactive. It's every game. It's not good enough. Gillian, hi. Hope you're well. She says, I think we went at the Champions League too early, now paying the price for the injuries. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a possibility because, look, we all know we probably overachieved last season. But I don't think we just didn't reinforce in January. We could have got, we don't know how long he sacks out for. Not getting a striker in now, that's just criminal, isn't it? Mason says, I've got a bad thought of how paid off I was yesterday. It's all that shouting, Mason. You see how good a manager is when there's tough times, and it's easy to be good when it's good times. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls. Absolutely. I was tempted to post Richie. That will change the game. Glad that I didn't. Blaming Dan Burn is all very well, but Miggy was awful too. Blasting shots, doesn't put his head up to see Gordon open. Exactly, Bia. That's what I'm saying. I thought, Dan Burn didn't have a bad game. He just got outdone by the pace. And that's not Dan Burn's fault. Forget about Europe next season. We don't deserve it. Still want Richie gone in the summer and done it too, yeah. Gillian says, anyone stop putting Burns on starting? Yeah, absolutely, Gillian. I think Burn needs to be dropped and, given a rest. Because I think Burns lost a little bit of pace since he had that back injury against Arsenal. So I want to see Livramento start. Or Lewis Hall, the mystery player. Jack says Miley was heads and shoulders above Bruno and Sean yesterday. What a player, absolutely. Ronald says someone in the audience and the snooker had a bad turn. She made a horrible moan. Hope she's all right. Oh, let's hope so. Not good. Murphy also better on the right, yeah. Miley man the match yesterday, Jack, says Ronald. It's weird what's happening to Miggy. He's become a championship player, maybe even League One, says Trolls. Do you know what? I just don't know what's gone on with him. He's just, last season he was absolutely terrific for us, and this season it's just gone, it's just gone backwards. Gary D says there's only one that's not seen the problems, Tony, and that's Eddie Howe. Yeah. Eddie's putting himself under pressure, says Colton. Hope you're well, mate. Holly says, I think Tino needs to start the next game. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Ronald says, Ten Hag's appalling. He slates players in public and throws them under the bus. Eddie isn't that amateur. No, he isn't. And I think that's absolutely disgusting by the way Ten Hag goes on. Especially the way he went on with Jadon Sancho when the guy had mental problems. He should never have gone on like that over a player with mental health issues, and absolutely disgusting. Tempers flaring after 11 minutes. Somebody's been booked on this game between Sheffield United and Brighton. Still 0-0, by the way. Jose, time is over. He would want to overhaul the squad. He plays awful anti-football, doesn't play entertaining football. No, exactly, Bia. There is a VAR check for a red card for serious foul play. Whoa, that looks bad. It's a Sheffield United player. I'm not sure who it is, though. It's on Matoma. Wow, if he doesn't get sent off for this, I'll be very surprised.
It's Holgate who's on loan from Everton. His foot's above the knee of Mitoma. Now, if he doesn't get a red card for that, I'm going to be very shocked. In fact, yes, he's going to the monitor. In fact, it's not. It's been overturned. It's a red card. Holgate's off. Had to be. That was like a kung fu kick. Disgraceful tackle. That could have been a leg breaker for Mitoma, that, or it could have been his career over. Typical dirty Everton player. Gary says, in my opinion, Eddie went to all of the top clubs in Europe to learn how to become a better manager, but came back and didn't learn a thing, Tony. This is what I'm saying. You know, he went to be a top manager. He wanted to be a better manager. And yeah, I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, he said yesterday as well, when Joe White come on, he said it was like having another new signing, having Joe White back. Alan says, think of the team next season with Tonali, Miley, Bruno, Minty and Willock. GS7, I'm critical of how, but got to judge him with a fit team. Yeah. Apparently, Minty is not doing great at the moment, is he? And Feyenoord, he's getting a bit of slating over there, so I don't know what's going on. Burn will lose more pace because of his size and age. Yeah, I reckon Hall's a hologram. I think there's something in that contract, and I think we're not playing him, and we want to send him back to Chelsea. It's just heartbreaking. We all know players can do much better. Yeah, absolutely. Tristan says, is Howe's contract up this summer? It says 24 summer. Well, when he came in, didn't he sign a contract like for 18 months and then he signed the new deal? So I'm not sure. Not 100% sure on that one. Interesting. Gonna have a look and see if I can say anything, but I'm not sure. Because they never ever said what his contract length was, but did they, you know? I'm looking on SofaScore. I can't see anything on there that tells you how long his contract's for. Doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say how long his contract is, so I'm not sure. Bias says a team works so hard to create big chances, but Mickey takes far out shots with tiny XGs. You score 1 out of 100, which reflects his goal record. Yeah. Tristan says, I know he committed his future in Newcastle, but all sides say it's summer 2024. I'm not sure. David says, Eddie Howe is definitely under pressure now, but I believe he'll be judged next season. We should have picked up loads of points off poor teams recently, but Eddie made it easy for them putting Burning. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Eddie does all a carrot but not use a stick. Have Brighton give Mitoma a pay rise? Was he originally on $7,000 a week? I'm not sure. Might have. You judge a manager when it's tough times, but when you see how good he really is. Ashworth will soon regret moving to Man U. 10 Bob is a poor manager. Well, people are saying there's a fallout between him and Eddie Howe. I mean, somebody made an interesting point on Twitter, and you know, I'm not so sure about this, but I'll read it out to you, and you tell me what you think of this. So this person's put on Twitter. So this is like what he thinks anyway. So he says, Ashworth, let's sell Miggy and Wilson and we can get 2 top-class players in. How? Not for sale. They're important to how I play because I'm friends with them. Then Ashworth says, but Champions League, and then Howe said, as I said, they're my friends. Ashworth said, hello, Man United, it's Dan. That's what somebody put on Twitter. You know, but we don't know the real reason what's going on there. I think we pay the full price for Hall. We violate FFP, yeah. Tony Nagelsmann's free. I know he's Germany's manager, but he's 36 and more management experience than Howe. I'm sorry, I can see PIF replacing him as he's not adapting the players missing. Nagelsmann's only on a contract till the end of the Euros, so depends how Germany do in the Euros. Every website says 2024. Well, maybe they're just not going to give him a new contract at the end of the season. Maybe he's been told and he knows. Because one thing I did pick up in that interview, it sounded a bit strange when he says, oh, well, you know, with about Dan Ashworth, and he said, well, yeah, people do go from clubs and staff and managers and things like that. I'm thinking, well, that's a bit of a strange thing to come out with. Ricardo says 2 piss poor transfer windows have caught up with us. I agree. Would be former high mate. He says some good things happened yesterday. Gordon scoring the pen was huge. Richie goal from Bruno was huge. The comeback spirit in itself, but no injuries. Yeah, well, we don't know about the injuries, former, because Cher went off with his arm in his shirt, didn't he? So we don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Cher. We're not sure if he's got anything wrong or not. So no injuries might be an injury. Ryan Wardley says Richie's effing magic. He wears a magic hat. Do you know what I thought was great when he scored and he done his celebration? I was so pleased for the lad, to be fair, don't get me wrong. And if you remember, it's not the first time Richie's rescued us against Bournemouth. Because if you remember when we played away at the Vitality, was Cabachid the manager or was it Rafa? I think it was Rafa who was the manager. And I think, was it 1-0 we were down or something, and Richie scored in the last minute to make it 1-1. So, you know, it's not the first time he's done it. Mac says, Burn Almiron were great, but why no one else criticised? No one mentions Gordon missing sitters or even Murphy pulling out with a 50-50 challenge. Just very bad. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, mate, on that one. Alan says, we lost a few very important games in the dying stages of matches from Liverpool to Chelsea. It must have done to confidence in the injuries. Yeah, it must have, Alan. Brighton have just took the lead, by the way, against Sheffield United, so they now have leapfrog us into 7th place. Trying to see who the goal's from. I think it's Bowenetti, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. Just trying to work out who it is. What number is he? Yes, I think it is. Bowenetti. Yes, it is. Yeah, good goal as well. Tristan says, Tony, I think Piff won't have it if he stays. He has a bad start. He's gone. Plus, they wanted a top manager in Dracula, but turned us down. I'm sorry, but Eddie is not a top manager. His game is bad. Yeah. Eddie's son works under Ashworth. Maybe Ashworth isn't a fan of nepotism. It's not his son, it's his nephew. It's his nephew, Ronald. He works in the transfer department, yeah. I know Bruno booking. Yeah, absolutely. Tiger says, Tony, we are shy. People need to wake up. We can't believe people are accepting this crap. Yeah, I totally get it. Sheffield United almost scored there. Tony, we all say it's a project, and yes, it is. But 2.5 years this summer, we are going to end mid-table. We can't keep a clean sheet. Maybe it's time for a new vision. I see where you mean, Tristan. And the thing is, as well, PIF this season will want nothing less than Europe. Let's be honest. Even if it's European Conference League, they'll take that. Woodby says Cher is injured so often that I have to wonder if he could actually play if he were 100% fit. Tony, I see an international pundit now. International pundit? No. Oh, do you mean with Nagelsmann? Yeah, no, it was only because I saw that the other week in the media, and I just thought, I didn't think he thought he had a longer contract than that. So yeah, he's only got a contract at the end of the Euro. So if I think if Germany have a poor Euros, he won't be renewing his contract. But let's be honest, Germany aren't the national team they used to be, are they? It's Dunk. Oh, it was Dunk, was it? Longstaff, Almiron, Burn all need to go. Not good enough to where we want to be. Longstaff, did he win his place in the cereal box? Jesus Christ, he's so effing bad, says Traeger. Look, Longstaff weren't great yesterday, let's be honest. And I would say, do you know what? Sell Longstaff in the summer. It's 100% profit. In this game of being a supporter, we have to be an objective about managers and staff and things like and change to be a top side, but you have to go and find the man to lead the club who's been there. Totally agree. His kids are still at school, yeah. David says, I think next season will be really good, but my confidence has been shaken recently in his in-game management. Then he tries a gaslight when when journalists ask about Burn. Yeah. He just blows flowers up his arse, doesn't he? The funny thing is, people still use injuries next. He's already still learning, but he's been in the game for 15 years. What has he learned? F all. Eddie reminds me of Southgate with his favourites. Tiger says we play one game a week and still look shite. I'm telling you, the players are done with how. That's a good point. 2-0 now. And it looks like, I think it's Welbeck now that scored. So it looks like Sheffield United are going to capitulate in this game. Now they're down to 10 men. Yeah, Danny Welbeck. I take Simeone. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Oh, I take Mancini as well. It's not even that, Tony. Yes, we could keep Eddie, but if he fails next season to improve, the fans are going to defend him with the project words. I'm 43. I've waited for 18 years to see this team return to the top six. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. You know, Eddie needs to. I don't know what else I can say. I just thought Eddie learns, but he's obviously not, is he? Tiger says, Tony, I don't think Ashworth is a problem. It's how he's effing everything up. I don't think they get on, to be honest. Arsenal next. Yeah, exactly. Arsenal next. Saka and co. Grandad said, I meant your contribution to Magpie. Great to see you helping out. Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Chris is a nice lad, and it's nice to go on there and actually, and Derek's on there as well. And Derek comes on here now, so Derek's starting to become a regular on the channel as well. And he's great, Derek. He obviously couldn't do it this afternoon because he's down at his local club having a nice drink and playing dominoes. Alan says injuries are part of it. Look at the bench yesterday. Only Murphy, offensive player. Yeah. Arsenal is either a 1-1 bloody brawl or we get shit kicked back to 1892. Yeah. If we got a draw, I'll take a point now. Absolutely take a point against Arsenal. I'll tell you that now. If Howe is there in the summer and we are going for Billing, and we can't go for players like that, no, we can't. Absolutely. Well, Billing wasn't playing yesterday because he was suspended. For me, I think Eddie, he saved us, got us top four, and as soon as he got top four, he's capitulated game after game. Couldn't work out top side, can't defend, ignorance, and back and burn in Almiron. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that one, mate. I do. The Arsenal on fire. I hope we give them a game, but yeah, exactly. Howe needs to go on. Did you see his post-match comments saying we played very well and we still got stuff it? In my opinion, how can we? Many times we have been heard the same shit. Yeah, absolutely. Sheffield United fans sitting there with their head in their hands. I bet they are because they're 2-0 down. Yeah, look. Right. I mean, one player who has to leave in the summer. I'm sorry. This guy, Miguel Almiron. Right. Yesterday, I thought he was shocking. He was shocking against Forest, and he was shocking again yesterday. Shots going over the bar. I thought he might have been thinking he was playing rugby. You know, the club obviously wanted to get rid of him in January. They obviously made that clear. But Almiron didn't want to go. He says he's settled here. Now, what Miggy should have done was, by saying he's not going, he should have been playing blinders, but he's not. And people will say, like that picture, oh, but he plays with a smile on his face. Yes, he plays with a smile on his face. Yes, he runs around the ground and he goes up and down the wing and he runs up and down and he helps out and he gets the ball back. But what do we see from him? Are we seeing assists from this guy? Are we seeing goals from this guy? No, we are seeing nothing. There is no end product coming from Miggy, you know. Yes, he might do all the hard yards, he might do all the running and everything like that and play with a smile on his face, but that doesn't win your games. That doesn't get you goals. That doesn't get your assists. You know, and I know the Miggy fan club will be very upset that I'm talking like this, but I'm sorry. He's not good enough. It's time to go in the summer, Miggy. Time to go. And look, if we get an offer for him, he needs to accept the offer and go. Because I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, Miggy's done at the club now. He's absolutely done. Or if we do keep him, you keep him on the bench and bring him on after say 70 minutes when the other team are tiring and he's full of energy. That's the only other reason I would keep him. But other than that, I would say no. Sorry, Miggy, you've been great for us, but we can't turn down the offers now. I'll probably get walloped for that and hammered for that. But look, I know people will hammer me for this, for saying that about Miggy, but I'm right what I'm saying. The smile, the running around the field, that doesn't get you goals, that doesn't get you assists. And we don't see it enough. Right wingers provide goals. Right wingers score goals. Do we see that from Miggy? No. Would we see that from Murphy? Possibilities, yes. And his time's up, I'm afraid. His time is up. Time for Miggy to go. But as I say, I will probably get hammered for this now. Another thing I want to say as well is, and it's getting a bit annoying because I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and somebody showed there was a row of empty seats. Now this is down to the ballot section again. The summer, the owners need to sort out the ticketing system because that is an absolute shambles. We are seeing plenty of empty seats now because they're not getting filled. And it's to do with this ballot. And this ballot, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. I think, why can't we just stick to the old way where people jump on the computer at 10 o'clock in the morning and go on and pick their seats and just do it that way? Why do we need a ballot? Some people don't win these ballots and don't get anywhere near them. And yet there's seats there, but we can't fill them because, people haven't won these ballots. I just find it rather shocking, and I think the club need to change that in the summer. I really do. If Howe is a problem, I'm sure the owners will change to protect their investment. I think they will as well, Alan. Absolutely right. I want a dynamic manager with bravado over a manager who lies to us and never says anything every press conference. Some shit defend players who can't defend. Your left back's responsible for yourself. I'd rest Bruno against Arsenal as they intend to kick the shit out of him. I think they will as well. I really do, yeah. Tony's all the shocking all the time here, Mickey. Yeah, he is. Even Brighton's fighting to reach top 6 while they're above us now in 7th place, a point ahead, and that's what I'm saying. Come next weekend, we could end up well down the Premier League table. If I look at the table now, as it stands now, we are 8th place, 1 point behind Brighton. So if Brighton win next week again against Everton at the Amex, they're then 4 points ahead of us. Okay, the night before that, Chelsea play, and they're in 10th place at the moment. If they win, they go above us, so then we're pushed into 9th place. If Wolves win next week, which they should do against Sheffield United, we'll drop down to 10th. But then if West Ham win, we could even be 11th place by next weekend. So by Sunday next week, we could be in 11th place, depending on how results go. That's not good enough, is it? You know? Yes, I know people can say we've got the injuries, but that's not good enough. So, you know, we need to try and do something against Arsenal, but I'm just wondering what. I'm only hoping that we get it. Well, I hope we get a point at least, but I can't see it. Should have sold them last summer. The difference between a high quality top winger will be amazing. We finally get one. Yeah, absolutely. Again, Eddie Howe likes inverted wingers. And for each injury, Howe says it doesn't look too bad. And the next day, we learn that's 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Tony, the best I've seen Almiron is our first 6 months he was here under Rafa. After that, he's been crap. Last season was a fluke. Under Rafa, he was played on this proper side where he normally plays, and that's why he played well. Under Bruce, he was just played here, there, and everywhere. But I see what you mean. Tristan says, I'm going 5-0 Arsenal. I can't say anything. Bring Isak back too early. May cost us the rest of the season. So Gordon up top. Brian, hi Tony. Hi Brian, hope you're well, mate. He says, nah, I'm with you. It's time yesterday, wasn't it? It's big up. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Brian. His time's done, Mickey. I'm sorry. The 3 main places we need to improve last summer were right wing, striker, and left back. We did neither. Well done, Mr. Ashworth, says David. I mean, Martin Samuel in the paper, he's saying that we should demand £60 million from Man U for Ashworth. And I thought, can't see that happening. Troll says if we get Diaby, maybe Howe could get him going, but no, we stick with nothing, Mickey. Well, Diaby's hardly set the world alight, has he? So, Anne says, I run about with the smell. It's not good enough. Needs updating. Yesterday again, shooting wild and should passed the trips unmarked. Yeah, he should have done. Ian says, to be honest, I was happy for Mickey to go in the January window when the offer was maybe in. Yeah, I mean, look, the offer that was there, wasn't it? Was accepted and maybe he should have gone, but he didn't want to leave, did he? And that's the problem. He has another Eddie Howe staff at championship level, bringing in top manager, brings in top staff. Eddie, though, the poll is, I still say no, just because I feel he's doing the best with what we've got. Everyone on point bar with a couple, but you know which ones. Yeah, I see where you come from. I mean, look, I'll look at this poll at the moment. 53% see Eddie Howe's under pressure and 47% say no. So it's a very close vote at the moment. That's just now it's got 59. Sorry, it's gone back. So yeah, it keeps changing all the time, this poll. So Ricardo says, Mr. First Half, locked in the lavatory for 2 hours. Wola said she never heard us yelling. Deaf as a post, bless. War neighbour Gary was over the mind, and there's no wrong with his hearing. What a life, eh? Mighty Max says, at least the Mackhams got beat again. Yeah, off Birmingham. And yeah, definitely. I'm getting frustrated with Eddie Tino. It's obvious now, yeah. The only thing I'm thinking about how is why he doesn't want to play Livermento, because he doesn't want him playing too much at left back, because he knows he's going to be Trippier's successor. So Trips has more assists than this year than Miggy's had in his entire career. Yes, absolutely, he has, and that's shocking, isn't it? That is shocking. One thing that we didn't see on next is no one is the Atlanta Miggy Football Club from the MLS. No. Hi, Tony and everyone. Hi to you, Lee. Hope you're well. Alan says Brighton are as inconsistent as us. Not worried about them. Got much better running, but don't panic yet. No, not panicking, but I'm just thinking if they click, they win this week and next week, and we don't, we're 4 points behind them. And that's the thing. Tristan says difference, Tony, is you're getting a top manager that will demand the players for his formation. Eddie just buys to cover every position, and that we are playing terrible. We need 2 more quality forwards in the summer. Yeah, well, we'll have to. We're after one. We'll have, like, in the summer, we'll have to get like a replacement for Wilson, then another striker in, and that's the problem. We didn't get one in, did we, in the summer? Tiger says Leicester won the league, and next season the sacked who arguably was their best manager in history. I'm sorry, what does Eddie need to do before he goes? He only got top 4. Yeah, because Ranieri got sacked this season after, didn't he? Almiron has never scored many goals, even under Rafa. No, he didn't. No, didn't score any under Rafa. Miggy has 23 goals and 5 assists in the Prem since he joined. Not good enough, because we're not playing him in his natural position. And this is one thing I've said many a time. He was devastating in the MLS because he come in from the left, and he does the same for Paraguay, but we don't play him in that position. We've got Wolves, Spurs, Arsenal, 3 losses, and we won't get top 7. I don't think we will be. We are too inconsistent. Midfield as weak as piss. I laugh at the likes of TalkSport claiming their favourites have an injury crisis when Moores is massively worse and we have a weaker squad. Yeah. If Burns has to play, then we go 5-4-2 with Livramento as left back. Based on the official performances this year, they wouldn't notice. Tristan says, what is it with 70 million on Livramento on hold? Don't use them. Yet Miggy could have been replaced for a top wide forward, and that money let Nixon sign players. Holly says, football's a ruthless business. I think Eddie Howe deserves another window in the summer and needs the success to keep his job. Yeah, I think so, Holly. I got sick of Almiron smelling when he's done nothing. Awful. My dog smells at me sometimes, but I wouldn't want him playing as a winger. Probably had a better right foot though, a lot. Spot on, Tony and everyone. Cheers, Lee. Did you see Beale blanked his own player when sub? Shocking. Yeah, Trey Hume came off and he said he was focusing on the game. He didn't see him. And I thought, yeah, that's a load of bollocks, because he probably, he put his hand out. He would have seen him. The Mackhams want him out, don't they? Trippier has the most assists in the whole league, which is more assists than Ben Arthur. Ketzbayer had, yeah. Troll says, how doesn't know what he's going to do with a third striker? And that's the weirdest statement I've heard from a manager when you see how injury prone. Yeah, it's like he wants to keep Wilson in the summer as well. Tony, doesn't matter where you play. Miggy, he's bad. Really play worse than Gouffran. Good Energy Jude says, Newcastle United transfer guru Marcel Bout. I'm looking for the new Haaland, Bellingham and Musiala. Newcastle have brought me in to find all the big talents. I want to bring them in before they are worth £100 million. Okay, interesting. Right, let's go to the player ratings from yesterday. So look, so we'll start with Martin Dubravka. Not really great yesterday, was he? Let's be honest. He had a great first half, I thought. I thought the first half he played well, kept us in the game. Second half, not so great. Not a great second half. So, and get your comments in the chat what your ratings are as well. But I'm going to give Dubravka a 6. I'm going to give him a 6. I didn't think he was woefully bad. The slip was unfortunate. Yes, he could have done better for the other goal, but because of the extra, but because he done well with the shots he saved in the first half, I'm giving him a 6 for Dubs. So that's what I'm giving him anyway. See what people are putting in the chat. Troll says 5. Mighty Mag says 4. Who did Gufran play for? Don't remember him. He played for us. Gufran. When everyone's saying Longstaff should be in the England squad, hope they realise he's effing shit. Yeah. 5 for Dubs. Hi, Mary, by the way. Carlton says 8. Save some good goals. Oh, okay, mate. That's your rating, mate. That's exactly that. You know, that's your rating. Right. Okay. So next player is Kieran Trippier, captain. I thought Trippier done okay yesterday. Oh, Sheffield United pulled a goal back. It's 2-1 now. Oh no, it's 2-0. It's been chalked off. I thought Trippier had some good play down the right. Didn't do too bad at all, in my opinion. Just having a look why this goal's disallowed for a minute. Offside. Well, it looks like that's come back off a Brighton player, so that shouldn't be offside. See it closer here. It's rolled up the arm of somebody, but then the arm's down by the side. Then it's flicked off the shoulder of the Brighton player, and then Osborne's put it in, and he's offside. Strange. Our VAR looking at it now. Oh no, for a foul. They're checking it for a foul. Yeah. So Kieran Trippier. I'm going to give Kieran a 7. Referee's going to the monitor to check this goal. So it's been a busy game, this one. So we'll just see what the referee's doing. It's Stuart Atwell, by the way, the referee in this game. So he's checking VAR. I'm trying to see where the foul is, or I can see it rolled up off one of the Sheffield United players' arms, but then that was tucked by his side, so how can that be a... but there was a foul on... Dunk looks like he's been fouled as well. So that's what they must be checking for, the foul on Dunk. But then it doesn't look like he was anywhere near him. Right, here he comes. Let's see what Stuart Atwell's got to say. He's speaking to both captains. It's a bit strange. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what he's given here. He hasn't given the goal by the looks of it. Lee says Dubravka 7 pull off some good saves. 4 says Ronald. 3 says Holly. Yeah, that man he turned up during the match yesterday and sat with Ashworth. I honestly think he's leaving due to Eddie Howe. Doesn't want foreign players. That's suggested Nixon has. Don't know what that comment is. Oh, Gufran. Yes, Tony right winger and shite. I've actually seen the game yet. Listened to all the channels that you talk about it, and it's literally just the same bad tactics, etc. Repeat Groundhog Day. Even check out Match of the Day, David, and just have a look on the highlights. Trip 6, Trip 7, Dubravka 7, Trip 6. The women are 2-0 against Derby after 44 minutes. Excellent. They're well on their way to go to the championship, which is brilliant, isn't it? Being a WSL in no time. Trip 6, Dubs a 7, says Alan. Ryan says, I'd give Dubs a 7. I felt for him yesterday. Trip 6, Trip 7, 7, 7. 7 from Alan. It's great now, weekends off. Work feels brilliant. Nice one, Lee. Took 7 attempts for our VAR yesterday. Was a joke, yeah. Enjoy it, Lee. Okay, so we got the centre backs. Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär, I thought, yeah, he was okay. He won us the penalty. I mean, obviously, we know he's part of the back four. That's not doing very well at the moment. Fabian Schär. Hope he hasn't picked up a nasty injury. Let's hope it's nothing and he's fine for the weekend. But I'm going to give Schär a 6. I think that's probably about the right thing. So I'm going 6 for Schär. Trolls are seeing a 6 and as Mary as well. Yeah, I think that's about right. Sven Botman. Right. Sven Botman. What do we give Botman? Well, I didn't think Botman had a great game in all honesty yesterday. Not through any fault of his whatsoever. I didn't think he played his greatest game. So for me, and it's sad to say because the guy's a Rolls Royce of a defender, I know he is. He's just having. It's just because he's got. I don't think he's got any trust in Dubravka whatsoever. Sven Botman. I'm going to give Botman a 5. I didn't think he was great in all honesty yesterday. Six for Schär. The women are showing the men how to play. Schär 6, Schär 7. Botman a 5, yeah. 6 for Schär. Botman a 6, Botman a 6, Botman a 6. 6 as well from Colton, and a 6 from Mary. Mac, I say, is 5, but got done a couple of times. Yes, he did with the pace, yeah. But then again, if he's having to cover for Burn as well, it's, he's doing 2 jobs there, isn't he? And he hasn't got trust in Dubravka either. Let's go to left back now. And, let's high. So, Dan Burn. Look, I didn't think he had a particular bad game. I don't think he was awful yesterday. He was just getting outdone by the pace. And that's the problem. So the pace was outdoing Burn. So I'm going to give Burn a 5. I didn't think he was really bad yesterday. He was definitely a little bit better than he has been. So Burn gets a 5 for me. Gets a 4 from Trolls, a 5 from Ronald. Definitely need Tino Barnes in the starting lineup. 4 from Mary, 4 from Mighty Mag. Lee's being generous, giving Burn a 6. Colton's give Burn a 4. Tristan's give him a 4. Yeah. Burn a 5, says Macca. Yeah. Right, so we're now going to go into the midfield 3. Who will I start off with first in that midfield 3? Let's start off with this guy, Longstaff. Look, didn't think Longstaff had a particularly great game. Don't think he was that great, to be honest. Again, he's another one full of running. The energy's there, but not a lot on the ball. For me, 4. Longstaff. I just thought he was poor yesterday. I didn't think Longstaff was great at all, in my opinion. I may even be tempted to change that, actually. Tell you what, I'm going to give Longstaff 3.5. There you go, 3.5. If I'm allowed to give a half, I'll give him 3.5. Because I didn't think he was that great, to be honest with you. Four says Trolls, 5 says Mary, 5 says Ronald, 3 says Colton, 5 says Lee, 2 says Macca, 3 says Matey Mag, and Holly says I agree as well. Yeah, absolutely. We got another incident in this game. This game's been so bad tempered, it's unbelievable the amount of incidents in this game. Right. So the next player that will pull up is this lad, Bruno G. So, Bruno, what do we give him for yesterday? Look, he was trying to make things work, trying to get things going. Again, not his best game, but he tried hard, and that he tried. So I'm going to give Bruno a 7. I think a 7's about right for Bruno. Tristan says Longstaff 1. Where was he all game? Yeah. Bruno 7. Bruno 7. 7 for Bruno. 6 from Mary. 7 from Lee. 6 better than Longstaff. Bruno 8 says Colton. 7 for Bruno. Alan said, I know Longstaff puts loads of effort in, but for me, he's always been terrible at scoring for an attacking midfielder. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. You go back to last season. Remember when we played Leeds at home? In that December, and the amount of chances he missed, absolutely woeful. Should have buried them. He could have had a hat-trick, couldn't he? So, yeah. Not great from him, was it? From Longstaff in that game against Leeds, but as an attacking midfielder, he should be scoring a lot more. That's for sure. Should be seeing more goals out of Sean Longstaff, for sure. Right. Let's complete the midfield. Hang on, I'll just go into this comment. Macca says 6, not very good was Bruno. He tried, but, can't be his best every game, I suppose. Right, and completing that midfield 3 is this man. Oh, there he is. Lewis Smiley, 17 years of age. Plays like he's older than 17. Right, for me, Lewis Smiley, I thought was probably our best player in the match. If I'm honest, I thought he was terrific yesterday. Did his job well. And as I say, for a 17-year-old, to be better than, his fellow midfielders, says it all. For me, he showed a fight yesterday. And I'm going to say 8 for Miley, man of the match as well. He's man of the match without the doubt, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. But I'm going to go Miley 8. 8 for me. Thought he was terrific yesterday. Maley was the best midfielder, 8. Yeah. Maley man the match, 8 as well from Trolls. Man the match, Maley. Maley 7. Ronald says 8, man of the match. Tristan says Maley at 9, put in more fight than anyone. Yeah, absolutely. 7 for Maley, 8 for Maley, 8 for Maley. I agree. And 8 says Holly. Mighty Max says Maley has the world at his feet at 17. It's a great future ahead of him. His head screwed on, not like Gaza. Yeah, absolutely. We've got him tied down. Maley class 8 says Ryan. Absolutely. At Maley's age, he needs a top manager to come and train him in that one position because I think Howe will ruin him over time. Right. Okay, so we're going to go into the front three now. Who will I start with in the front three? Let's get it over with. And let's start with, there he is, Miggy Almiron. Right. So Miggy Almiron didn't have a fantastic game, did he, yesterday? He wasn't even that great yesterday. Absolutely woeful. Absolutely woeful game. For me, yes, full of running, but nothing else. No end product. So for me, I've got to say, for Miggy, what am I going to give Miggy? I'm in two minds which one to give Miggy because I know there's a few that I could give him. I'm going to say, I'm going to say a 3. A 3 for Miggy, I think, because he was poor. He was poor, but I'm not going to really downgrade him. I'm going to say a 3 for Miggy. Let's see what people have got in the chat and what they're saying about Miggy. Miggy a 3, says Ronald. So does Mary. 2 from Mighty Mac. Miggy owes us points in this one. 1. 2 for Miggy, says Colton. Mac says 7, but his finishing let him down. Yeah, his finishing wasn't great. Front 3, all 3, and Gordon a 4 for scoring a penalty. Oh, Miggy minus 10, not worth the air of that pitch like a lost schoolboy. Miggy could have squared it to Anthony Gordon, but wanted to shoot for the stars. Yeah, has to be a minus for Tony because he cost the team so many times. I agree, Miggy 3. Miggy 3 didn't look up to passing the ball, being greedy with the ball, and when he could have passed the ball for the other players, a chance to score. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Right, okay. Right. Let's put the next player on the screen. There he is, Harvey Barnes. Now, Harvey Barnes. What did we make of Harvey Barnes yesterday? Look, the lad's just started his first game since September. So he's still going to be a bit rusty. But I thought he played okay. I didn't think he had a bad game. I thought he had a nice, decent little run out there. So for Barnes, I'm going to give him a 5. I'll just give him a 5. Didn't think he was absolutely fantastic, but we know he was there, but I'll give him a 5. Troll says Barnes a 5. Macca says Barnes, did he play? Yes, he did. 6 for Barnes, says Ronald. That's generous, Ronald, isn't it? 6 for Barnes. Barnes a 6, says Lee. Barnes a 5, says Mary. Barnes an 8, as he's still finding his feet, says Mighty Mag. I can't blame Harvey. He was on the left. He did great crosses because no one was there up front and he had no service. Yeah, he didn't, did he? So I mean, look, he didn't do too bad, Harvey Barnes. Let's be honest. Didn't play too bad at all. Seven from Colton and a 4 from Holly as well for Barnes. Right, okay. So, last but not least, here he is, Anthony Gordon. What did we make of his performance yesterday? To be fair, I didn't think Anthony Gordon played too badly. He tried to get things going. He nearly forced Neto into a mistake when he pressed him for the ball and Neto kicked it and hit Gordon. It was unlucky not to ricochet into the back of the net. Took his penalty really well, stepped up. The guy had balls of steel to step up and take that penalty because, he's not normally a penalty taker. He's not a striker. So, the pressure was on him to take that penalty. And on such a young lad, I thought he took that penalty really, really well. I'm giving Gordon a 7. I thought he played all right yesterday. I really did. Didn't think he was too bad, to be fair. Troll says 7 for Gordon. So does Ronald. Godfather evening, Tony. Guess I'm going back to the start. Yeah, no worries, mate. But hey, hang fire and watch the rest of the and get involved, mate. Man the match for me and 9 for the season. Gordon a 7. Colton says Gordon a 7. Gordon a 6, says Holly. I'm giving a 6. Yes, apparently, but as a sole top player for us, he didn't cut it in once to try and beat their back line if it wasn't for the pen of 5. Eddie Howe -2. We haven't got Eddie yet. Gordon, 5 missed sitters. Yeah, he did, didn't he? But, it's got to remember he's not a natural striker, is he? So that's it. Right. So substitutes. Jacob Murphy came on for Harvey Barnes on the 67th minute. Jacob Murphy for me, I thought he did okay. Didn't do too bad. Tried. I'll give Murphy what will I give Murphy? I'll give him a 6. I'll give Murphy a 6 because I thought he did okay for the time he was on the field. And Ronald and Mighty Mag have gone the same as what I've gone. So 6 as well. And Colton as well. 6. And Lee said 6 as well. And Mary. Goat says striker is a difficult role. Not many people realise it. Absolutely, Godfather. It is. Absolutely. It is definitely that. Right, then we had another substitution 4 minutes later. And we saw Dan Byrne go off. And on comes Tino Livramento. How did Tino get on? He got skinned once, I know he did, by Semenyo. But I thought he did all right the time he was on. He tried to attack. He tried to take the game to Bournemouth. Tried to get things going. So yeah, I didn't think he was too bad, to be fair, Livramento. And for the time he was on, I'm going to give Livramento a 6 because I thought he was okay yesterday. So I'll give him a 6. He looked like he was trying to do something with the game and get it moving. Murphy 2-week challenges. Yeah, there was a couple, wasn't there? For Eddie Howe, I'll give him the score. He deserves P45. Sorry, I've watched failure over failure for me. It's like watching Pardew all over again, getting away with bad results after skinning. 6 for Tino. Great show. Cheers, trolls. Take care. See you later, people. See you later, trolls. Tino 6 as Carlton. Tino hard nutted 6. Tino 6. Livermento 6 as well from Macca. Yeah, absolutely. I thought he did really well when he come on. And as I see, he just tried to take the game to them, didn't he? So, and then the other two subs came on the 91st minute, and that was Joe White and Matt Ritchie for Miggy Almiron and for Lewis Miley. Joe White, look, they weren't on long enough to make an impact. So I'll give Joe White a standard 5. So I'll just give him a standard 5 because he wasn't on the pitch long enough. And then the other guy, Matt Ritchie, who we know scored yesterday, got the equaliser for us, took the corner flag out. So Matt Ritchie, look, in the first 5 minutes he came on, he done more in that first 5 minutes than Almiron done all game. You know, and that's shocking to say that a 34-year-old who's come on and done a lot more in 5 minutes than somebody else has done in 91 minutes is shocking. And if Almiron sits down and watches that game and watches Matt Ritchie in those 5 minutes and looks and thinks, Jesus, that man's done more than I've done in the whole game, he should hang his head in shame. Absolutely. I thought Ritchie looked all right when he came on. Got the goal, which is important, you know, got the important touch. I'm giving Matt Ritchie a 7 because, no, in fact, I'm giving him an 8 because I thought he, you know, was so his leadership skills as well. He's a leader as well, Matt Ritchie, don't forget. And if he was a couple of years younger, I would have him playing ahead of Almiron absolutely every game because he has got one hell of a delivery on him still. Ritchie has. You know, he's 34 now, but if he was a couple of years younger, I would have him starting ahead of Almiron. Because Almiron is absolute dross. And as I say, Ritchie done more in 5 minutes on the field than Almiron done in 91 minutes. And that is horrible to say, but it is very true. And the stats don't lie, and the visuals don't lie. So I'm giving Ritchie an 8, absolutely. Five for White, yeah. He just wasn't on the field long enough to impact the game, was he? But, you know, I thought White did it well. He helped with a goal, didn't he? Ritchie 7, White 5. White 5 says Mighty Mag. White 5 says Lee. Ritchie 8, have a point for the goal. Yeah. Ritchie, same as me, 8. Ritchie 7 for the goal. Ritchie 7, well deserved. Colton says 8 for Ritchie. Tristan says that's what's wrong with this club, having to get Joe White from League 2. It's embarrassing. Shows the kids are shite enough for one of them to get a call up and seeing the top youth kid. I mean, not only did Crew want to keep him, but also other teams in that league wanted him as well. Rolly, hi mate, hope you're well. He says, just got back from the tune. I hope you had a great time, mate. It looked like you had a good time in the hospitality end. He says, I think some of the player scores are extremely harsh. Well, pop your scores in, Rolly, and let us know what you think of your scores in the chat. Because I think some of them are deserved, to be fair, Rolly. I don't think they were that great yesterday. I agree, Nate. Miley's war top kid. Yeah. Miley man of the match all day for me. I will change my score from Richie 7 to 8. That's no problem, Mary. You can do. Balls it to Richie 8, yeah. Who was our best rated player on Sofa score? Rolly, I didn't rate anyone, so I'm okay. Go for that. That's a very good point. I'll have a look and I'll tell you. When it gets loaded up, I'll tell you exactly who our it's been a bit slow at the moment. Right, let's have a look. Believe it or not, and I honestly don't know where SofaScore get these predictions from. Almiron's the highest rated player, believe it or not. He got 7.8. They give Mickey Almiron 7.8. Let's look at Almiron's stats then, why they've given 7.8. He played 89 minutes. Well, actually, he played 91. He had 4 shots off target, none on target. He had 45 touches, 20 out of 23 accurate passes. Made 1 key pass, 1 out of 3 crosses accurate. He won 6 out of 7 ground duels. He won no aerial duels. He lost possession 10 times. He fouled once. He was fouled 3 times. So that's why they're giving him that. Top rated player for Bournemouth is obviously it's Solanke at 7.5. Yeah, so Almiron 7.8. So these are the scores that they've given them. Dubravka 6.6, 6.6 Trippier, 7.2 Share, 7.1 Botman, 6.8 Burn, 6.9 Longstaff, 6.9 Bruno, 7.5 Maley, 7.8 Mickey, 7.4 Anthony Gordon, 7.1 for Harvey Barnes. Rory, hope you had a good day yesterday, says Lee. Tony, we signed Ndueni from City, 18th top youth striker, and we send him back to League 3 in Scotland for that at Sakam. You'll be disgraced and manager not seeing what the City's made of him into a goal machine. Yeah, I don't know. Who's been doing them scores of blind men? Well, I don't know, Lee. Because I don't know where they've got them scores from. This is how the BBC have rated the players, and I'll give you them in the order they've got them on there. So, BBC give Richie 7.7, 7.2 to Bruno, 7.23 to Maley, 7.1 for Gordon, 6.9 for Barnes, 6.8 for Livramento, 6.8 for Share, 6.7 for Trippier, 6.7 for Botman, 6.5 for Almiron, 6.4 for Murphy, 6.4 for Joe White, 6.3 for Byrne, and Dubravka 6.1. And then Longstaff, this is from the BBC. Are you waiting for it? Drum roll. 3.4. There you go. And that's from the BBC. And that's what they've gave him. $7.8, Mickey, here on the last SofaScore. Exactly. What did everyone think of Lloyd Kelly with the links? Almiron got past him. Not sure I'd want him on a free, says Maka. No. Do you know what? I wasn't that impressed with Lloyd Kelly yesterday. I didn't think anything of him, to be fair. I wouldn't take him on a free. Absolutely not. No, definitely not. Don't think he's that great. waiting for Rolly coming on with these scores, but I don't think he is, because he says we're all being a bit we're a bit harsh with our scores. I didn't think we were harsh. I thought we were spot on. But obviously Rolly's watched something totally different to what we watched. I still see it defund the BBC, lol. But yeah, Rolly think we're a bit unfortunate with them scores, but I don't think we were harsh with them scores. I thought they were pretty much spot on. Finally, we've got a couple of more ratings left to do. Right, here's the first one. Eddie Howe. What's your rating for Eddie Howe yesterday with his lineup and his substitutions? And I'm waiting for this in the chat, so I think this could be quite interesting, shall we say. Right, if I'm to rate Eddie Howe, I'll say a 3, because look, he still chose Almiron ahead of Murphy, which I would rather have started with Murphy, in honesty. The fact he took Burn off when it was too late. So for me, yeah, Eddie gets a 3 from me. 4 says Mighty Mag. -2 says Colton. -10 says Godfather. -2 says Mary. Eddie 6 because of the Richie sub. And that's being kind. Says Mary. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Yeah. Hey, do you know what? See it as it is, Mary. Exactly. This is Rolly's. He says 7 for Dubs. I think I gave Dubs a 6, didn't I? So I gave him a 6. So I wasn't that far off. Burn a 6. Miggy a 5. I thought Miggy was worse than a 5, to be honest, Rolly. Longstaff 6. I didn't think Longstaff was that great. To be honest with you, Rolly, I thought Longstaff had a shocker. Even the BBC have said he's a 3.4. And I gave them more than what the BBC gave him. But the others were about right. Bus fare home my house, says Colton, and Rolly says Byrne didn't get skinned like he did against Forest. No, not as quite as skinned as he did against Forest. But yeah, I see what you mean. For me, there was a chance of Betty getting the women's team to the Super League before Eddie gets us to Europe. He's had his blip, like he had at Bournemouth, one good season for me, and then Eddie had the same tactic. Ref 3, some of the tackles unreal against us. He stood at the back of the legs, should have been sent off. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought the ref was shocking yesterday, Michael Salisbury. He only gets a 1 from me, Salisbury. I thought he was absolutely awful. Not even a great ref. Right, the last one we've got to rate, which is just as important, and it's the fans. What did we think of our fan base yesterday? How did they get on? I thought the fans stuck with the team rather well. Yes, there was a few empty seats, but then that's the normal, because some people do tend to go off early so they can catch public transport, things like that. Look, I thought the fans did well. They stuck with us, stuck by us. You know, try to encourage the team to move. So supporters get a 10 all day long. 10 for the supporters. The ref was shite, he was. Fans were outstanding, 10. Rolly says our big problem is that our midfield are blessed with the pace of a tortoise. Exactly, Rolly. It's just, you know, Miley was the pick of the bunch, really. Support 10. Salisbury was atrocious, says Rolly. He was, wasn't he? The Seagulls have more chance of an aim at the ref than that. That's definitely being kind. 11 for the supporter, says Colton, and 10 for the fans, says Mary. Tristan said, I think the fans are amazing. Those Tino shouts will soon end up being Eddie chants, but nice ones because they know they will turn if we fail to get Europe. Could well do. And I've just thought Chelsea won't go above us next week because I've just realised their game will be postponed, won't it? Because aren't they playing the Carabao Cup on Sunday against Liverpool next week? So I've just thought Chelsea won't be above us next week. So there we go. That's probably been postponed. Brian's in the chat. You ready to get mullered by Arsenal, Tony? Jesus, Brian. Do you know what, Brian? I take a point now, mate. Absolutely, but I can't see it. I dread to think. Brian. And I don't even want to think about that game yet. Let's just get past this first, and let's get the week over. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm gonna. I don't want to think of the Arsenal game at the minute. So yeah, and then we got Blackburn in the FA Cup away, which won't be easy. So I'm hoping to do a pre-match show for that game, the Blackburn game, even though I'll be abroad. I'll be in Tirana. If anybody's not sure where Tirana is, it's in Albania. So I'll be in Albania. So hopefully, I should be able to do the pre-match show. Brian says, happy birthday. Cheers, mate. Thank you. If the Arse beat us, we will not cry for months. No, we won't. Definitely not, Ronald. Definitely not. Absolutely. Right, guys and girls. Been going for nearly 2 hours. Jeez, didn't realise that was gone on that long. Look, it's been a great show again. We come at the end of the show, but if you have liked what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel. So if you haven't yet, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. That'd be great. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community we have here. And also hit that bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. Let me get to some more comments. Yeah, there won't be a show tomorrow because I'm playing darts tomorrow night. So yeah, for my darts team. So even on my birthday, I'll be at work and I'll be going out playing darts. But yeah. Happy birthday, Tony, for tomorrow. Have a good one. Cheers, Lee. Thank you. Happy birthday, Tony. Cheers, Colton. Have a great day tomorrow, Tony, and a fab holiday. Cheers, matey Mag. So you're a fish, Tony. Yeah, Aquarius. Yeah, the water carrier. Happy birthday, Tony, for tomorrow. Cheers, Mary. Thank you. Yeah, Tony, we all know why you're going there, matey. Is that for vape juice? No. I don't smoke, mate. I don't even smoke. Don't smoke vapes. Don't smoke anything like that. But cheap drink, cheap food. What more can you want? And to also sample, it's a different country. Because I'm one of these people. I like to try out countries that people probably wouldn't think of going to. Let's be honest. 13 years ago, I went to a capital city called Riga, which is in Latvia. And at the time, people said to me, "Oh, why going to Latvia? What's good about going to Latvia?" And I said, well, I don't know, but I'm going to try it. And I went there, and you know what? I had a bloody great time, and it was lovely. And look, cheap flights. What's more to have? Going there, flights, seats, bags, £143 return. That's not bad, I pay more than that going on a train. So look, what's not to like? Great show, Tony and everyone. Spot on. Cheers, Lee. It's Aquarius. One of my exes was a horrible cow. Oh, cheers, Ronald. Thanks, mate. Thanks for sharing that. So that's where I'll be. So I'll be going there next Tuesday. I'll be leaving on the Tuesday morning, so it'll be like a 6:30 flight in the morning. Get there for about 10:30. Well, be there before 10:30, I would imagine. I'm interested in countries like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, just because these countries haven't had the greatest history in the past, but they've all changed, and it's great to it's great to have to go to these different countries. There's lots out there. It's a big wild world, but you've got to sample these other countries. I know you've got your likes of your Spains, your Italys, and all that, and I think, yeah, but you've got to go to some of these smaller countries and sample it. And the weather over there at the moment is like 20 degrees, so it's like, it's a lot warmer than what it is in the UK. Was our birthday yesterday. I'm interested in countries like that, says Maka. Yeah, Hungary, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia. Yeah, I want to do all them as well. He says, happy birthday. Thanks very much, mate. Are you come back on a dinghy? No, Ryanair. This is what I'm saying. Price of flights are so cheap now, aren't they? Bye, says Alan. Bye to you, mate. But yeah, that's exactly what I'll be doing. And, sample a local cuisine, sample the beer, beer's probably about 150 a pint or something over there. So, why not? After France, a few years' time, weeks fishing with the lads. Have to book big waiting list to go carp fishing and catfishing. Wow, enjoy it when you do go. Yeah, absolutely. It's laughing at Ronald. Yeah, exactly. He's not mincing his words, is he? Norman Wisdom is a hero there. Yeah, bet he is. But yeah, so not the result we wanted yesterday. But we got a point out of the game. So we took 1 point off Bournemouth this season, which is bad, really, in it. But you know what? Let's not lose faith with the team, and let's see how the next game goes. But remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. And I should hopefully be back Tuesday with a show, so catch me on Tuesday because I'm busy tomorrow night. But until then, as I say, enjoy what you're doing for the rest of the afternoon. Tony Brill's show and everyone, cheers, Mighty Mag. Dingy, it's not the 1800s, Ronald. Hey, absolutely, absolutely. Until then, take care, guys, and see you later. Away the lads.